Did you know that the tiny Himalayan kingdom of Bhutan is the only carbon-negative country in the world? Yes, indeed. This means Bhutan absorbs more carbon dioxide than it produces. A key factor in this is Bhutan's environmental policies. The country's constitution mandates that 60% of its land must always remain forested. This commitment to preserving its natural beauty has led to Bhutan's unique status. So the next time you're thinking about a vacation, why not consider Bhutan, the greenest country on Earth? Chewing gum in Singapore can land you in trouble? Yes, you heard that right. This island city-state is known for its immaculate streets and high orderliness. And a big part of that comes from its stringent laws, one of which is the ban on chewing gum. This unusual law was implemented back in 1992 by then Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew. The reason? To maintain cleanliness in public spaces. You see, discarded chewing gum was causing a mess to public facilities and becoming a nuisance. It was sticking to doors, seats, and even the sensors of the public transit system, causing disruptions and unnecessary cleaning costs. And the penalties for breaking this law, they're pretty hefty. You can be fined up to $2,000 for the first offense, and repeat offenders might even face jail time. So remember, if you're ever in Singapore, leave your chewing gum at home. Imagine a country where it's illegal to die. Sounds like a twisted plot from a sci-fi movie, doesn't it? But it's not. Welcome to Falciano del Masico, a small town nestled in the picturesque heart of Italy. This is a place where life's ultimate inevitability, death, is technically against the law. In 2012, the mayor issued an edict declaring it illegal for the town's residents to pass away. This law was not born out of a whimsical desire to control mortality. Instead, it was a practical response to a rather grave problem. The local cemetery had run out of space. With every plot claimed and no room for any new graves, the mayor took the unconventional step of outlawing death itself. But don't panic. This law isn't heavily enforced. It's not like the Italian police are out issuing tickets for dying. It's more a statement of a desperate situation, a cry for help that highlights the town's pressing need for additional burial space. It's intriguing to think that in a world grappling with issues like climate change and global pandemics, a town in Italy is battling a unique crisis of its own, a shortage of final resting places. So, in Falciano del Masico, you'd better not die, at least not until they find more burial space. Australia is not only known for kangaroos and koalas, but also for being the only country that's also a continent. Unraveling the tapestry of Australia's past, we find a story that's as vibrant and diverse as the landscape itself. This land down under started its journey in the annals of Western history as a penal colony. In the late 18th century, the British, grappling with overcrowded prisons, decided to send their convicts halfway around the world to this distant land. This was the genesis of modern Australia, a country born from the hopes and hardships of these early settlers. But the narrative of Australia stretches far beyond the arrival of the British. Its roots delve deep into the rich history of its indigenous people, the Aboriginals. For over 65,000 years, they've inhabited this continent, their lives intricately woven into the very fabric of the land. Their culture, one of the oldest surviving cultures in the world, is a testament to their resilience and deep connection to the environment. The Aboriginals' Dreamtime stories, a mix of creation myths and moral tales, echo the rhythms of the land and the cycles of nature. These stories, passed down generations, hold the wisdom of ages, shaping an understanding of the world that's profound and holistic. The journey of Australia from a penal colony to a prosperous nation is a tale of transformation. It's a story of a land that has embraced its multicultural heritage, weaving together the stories of its indigenous people, convicts, settlers, and immigrants into a rich tapestry. Today, Australia stands tall as a beacon of progress and diversity. Its cities bustle with energy while its outback resonates with the echoes of its past. From the ancient rock art of the Aboriginals in the Kimberley to the iconic Sydney Opera House, Australia is a land that celebrates its history and looks forward to a promising future. Australia, a land of diverse cultures and a history that's as fascinating as its wildlife. In Spain, there's a festival where people throw tomatoes at each other. Yes, you heard it right. It's not a scene from a slapstick comedy movie, but a real, vibrant tradition that takes place every year in a small Spanish town called Buñol. This unique event is known as La Tomatina. Let's delve a little deeper into this ripe, red and outrageously fun tradition, shall we? La Tomatina has its roots firmly planted in the mid-20th century. The commonly accepted origin story harks back to a local town festival in 1945. A group of young people wanted to join the parade, but when they were not allowed, they grabbed some tomatoes from a nearby vegetable stand and started throwing them in frustration. This impromptu tomato fight was so much fun that they decided to repeat it the next year, and thus a tradition was born. Fast forward to today, and that spontaneous tomato tussle has exploded into a world-famous event, attracting tens of thousands of participants from all corners of the globe. On the last Wednesday of August, Buñol's streets transform into a sea of red as over 100 metric tons of overripe tomatoes are flung, squished and smeared in a celebration that is as messy as it is merry. But why has La Tomatina become such a popular tourist attraction? Well, it's simple. There's something incredibly liberating and almost therapeutic about pelting tomatoes at friends and strangers alike without any repercussions. Plus, the spectacle of the town painted red with tomato pulp, the infectious laughter and the camaraderie that develops among participants make it an experience you won't easily forget. And let's not forget about the massive after-party. Once the tomato throwing ends, the town is hosed down and everyone cleans up for a night of music, dancing and revelry, celebrating the successful completion of yet another La Tomatina. So if you're planning a trip to Spain, you might want to pack an extra set of clothes for this one-of-a-kind tomato fight. After all, it's not every day you get to partake in the world's biggest food fight. From Bhutan's green policies to Spain's tomato throwing festival, we've taken a whirlwind tour around the world. We unlocked the secret behind Bhutan's commitment to being carbon negative, not just neutral. A country where gross national happiness is more important than gross domestic product, setting an example for the rest of the globe on how to prioritize environmental sustainability. Our journey then took us to Singapore, a city-state renowned for its cleanliness and orderliness. We learned about its unusual law that prohibits chewing gum, a testament to their commitment to maintaining a clean and litter-free environment. In Italy, we delved into the curious case of prohibited work, the ban on dyeing in the town of Falciano del Masico. A law that might seem bizarre, yet it mirrors the unique challenges faced by the town's cemetery space. Our voyage led us to the fascinating history of Australia, a continent that wears its ancient past with pride. We explored the rich indigenous culture that dates back over 65,000 years, making it one of the oldest living cultures on Earth. And finally, in Spain, we reveled in the unique tradition of La Tomatina, a tomato throwing festival that paints the town red, literally, a tradition that speaks volumes about the Spanish spirit of camaraderie and revelry. Our journey has been filled with surprises and revelations, highlighting the unique character and charm of each country. It's a reminder that every corner of the world holds a story waiting to be told, a tradition waiting to be experienced, and a history waiting to be explored. And as we wrap up this global adventure, let's not forget these are just a handful of countries. There are nearly 200 more out there, each with its own unique tale to tell. Stay curious, keep exploring, and remember, there's always something new to discover about our fascinating world.